Hello, myself Sunil R Nair. And here basically again we are back to that topic that is future plans, how basically are decided. So this all basically was the future plan basically. For the perfect management basically plan is required. So like this basically next topic basically is how is the Earth planet only many planets basically are designed. So this basically connects like this basically. Few people says that basically planets basically are created from the languages. Planets basically are created from the characters of the language, like A, B, C, D, K, K, G. Few people says that basically we have created up to that level. Few people says that basically the entire environment which the Earth planet contain, that entire Earth planet is going to convert to the universe basically. And one person told that basically this entire Earth planet, basically the environment they are containing, that basically is already designed in the universe also. That type of also basically people says. So what is right basically that only universe group can say, because this is basically just prediction only basically. But mostly basically the planet basically might not be created for example, English language, Gujarati language, Kannada language, Malayalam language, Tamil language, this language, Sanskrit language, like this basically all language is basically Punjabi language, then Saurashtra language, that means very many languages, Odisha language, Bhojpuri language, Bihari language, North language, each and every basically France language, African language, like this basically many languages are basically in this world basically. More than basically 100 languages basically are there basically. So 100 planets basically might be the target of the Earth planet basically, because Earth planet is basically creating everything basically. Then one person basically told that what about this global warming basically issue that is basically, that basically only universe group basically can solve basically. Then basically if you people say that basically we at least should solve the problem. And for that only basically we basically are creating the Bollywoods, we are created the Bollywood, each and every problem basically, what actually the problems are, that basically we are diagnosing, we are basically tracking each and everything basically. Then like this basically he told that yes basically we are doing like this basically. Global warming equal to 1% told that basically global warming equal to problems and problems are equal to solutions basically. So in this world, basically there are many problems basically. That entire global warming basically which comes, that basically connects to the problems. For example, 20 percentage of education sector basically, that basically is having the global warming issue basically. That is basically having the global warming issue, right? That is basically having the global warming issues. That is basically having the global warming issues. That basically is having the global warming issue. And that basically global warming issue basically copied by the education sector, sorry, by the software company basically, so they also basically enter into this global warming issue. So like this basically the global warming issue basically connected with the education sector, connected with the education sector, global warming connected with the software industry. So like this basically it spread it. Then basically 700 crore people basically are taking the education, means from on the base of their education basically they are doing the things tasks. So like this basically they told that basically the 700 crore people basically are also spreading the global warming. So like this basically few people say that basically education system basically has basically failed basically. Few people told that also basically. Education system of the world basically that has failed basically, because few people says that basically MBA equal to 1,000 cities, and when the 1,000 city was created, that time there basically that time basically the syllabus was supposed to check basically what are the energy going to generate, that basically. Then basically they told that basically how basically without creation basically how we can check basically. So that basically was the issue basically that time. But nowadays few people say that basically we have created the few environment also basically. and that environment is equal to city basically. And there basically whatever new creation happens, new syllabus basically comes, there basically data basically we dumps to that city, and then basically we check as in that that is a universe only basically. So universe level, 1% told that that area basically is the Earth planet area. That area is the Jupiter area. So like this basically they literally checks. So like this basically things are also there basically. So 1% told that basically the 1% is that basically the education sector basically was not checked basically when the MBA was created, when the MBA syllabus was created by this. 1% told that basically, do you know basically in one example basically you had told that yeah basically the certification basically is equal to disease, and disease equal to medicine, and medicine basically are the physical creation. Then he told that yes basically this is the formula basically. So disease basically which is getting generated, according to that the medicine is generated, and medicine are basically equal to physical creation. That means you want to say that the disease basically are wrongly generated, or basically what actually? This basically person basically literally asked basically. Then one person told that how basically disease wrongly basically gets generated. Disease basically means what basically? Then he told that basically headache, head pain happens, leg pain happens, or basically eye pain happens, or basically body entire pain happens. He get disease like this. Basically, he gets fever. Basically, this all are basically the disease, no? Basically, this all are the symptoms. Basically, this one basically each and every combination basically comes. They have given the symptoms basically. Then he told that basically the symptom basically has some problem basically or what? Then he told that symptoms basically problem. For example, malaria is a disease, right? So malaria disease basically how basically they calculate that this is a malaria. Then he told that basically this disease basically that disease equal to blood data basically calculates, and then basically they said that basically this is malaria. This is basically malaria. It's like same way chikungunya. Same way each and every disease basically gets calculates. So one person literally asked the question basically the disease basically which is generating in this world basically that basically has some error or what? Then this actually question basically was dangerous question basically which was asked actually, because according to that basically the certification equal to disease has generated, and according to the disease basically the medicine has generated, and the medicine is equal to that thousand city basically which has created on the base of disease. So the person basically told that basically the disease which is getting generated in the environment that basically have some error basically. Or then he told that basically there are more than 1 lakh disease basically. So how basically that means you want to say that disease basically are getting duplicate basically. For example, same symptom basically is in malaria, same symptom basically is in some other disease. Like this basically same symptom basically are there. Like this basically how they decides the data basically. Then he told that same symptoms basically it's very difficult basically. That's why basically the blood system software basically has created. That's why basically the system basically has created. That's why the system basically has created. That means you want to say that system basically is giving some wrong data basically. Reason behind it, this was basically just a simple basically. The certification was created of MBA by one person, right? That time when he created the certification, that time basically the system basically which has created by the Earth planet is like this. Certification equal to disease is equal to medicine equal to created by the thousand cities basically. Literally they create the cities only. Na? Like this basically they have created the cities only. Reason they basically told that basically it might be some else basically. Like same way each and every university basically have created their own area basically. These all are basically education basically. These all basically are education which basically are 20 percentage basically global warming error basically as there basically into that. That means you want to say that the disease basically which is getting generated, that basically is generating wrongly. This question actually was very dangerous question basically asked. He told that basically yes, yeah, basically this question actually is this need to basically ask to which whom basically they should ask. Basically. Then he told that basically whom to ask because all doctors basically are um, connected with this only basically. They have created medicine on the base of disease only basically. Then one person told that disease basically are also created or what? Few people basically literally asked that question also basically. The disease basically are created or what? Then one person told that malaria disease basically is created. The chikungunya disease is created. Then he told that basically each and every disease basically are created by some set of groups or what. Then he told that that's very dangerous question here basically. That means you want to say that this area basically which is created that is going to generate malaria. That area which is created that is going to generate chikungunya. Then he told that basically that basically might be possible here. That means you want to say that basically the disease basically the malaria disease equal to the 500 cities. When the 500 city was created, that time basically they have generated some wrong disease or basically wrong data was generated from that basically area. Then basically the person basically was shocked basically what actually is telling. Then basically one of the person told that basically disease equal to also basically energies only here. Disease basically are equal to energies only basically. And disease basically are uh, generated by set of human energy basically. Each and every world basically in this world basically the cities basically are generated on the base of human energy. So you want to say that that human basically which was generated that was really wrongly generated. You want to say that basically. Then he told that basically what actually you are telling here. Wrongly generated means what actually? Then you told that if one person told that basically wrongly generated means like this basically he want to become this and then basically he become that. You want to just say like that basically. Then he told that basically because each and the person basically told related to this basically the thing was each and every creation in this world basically has created on the base of human energy. So he told that basically this area which is generated that is basically generating this disease and on the base of this disease the medicine is created basically. That basically question basically was perfectly fine basically he told that. On the base of that only basically we have generated the because few people says that basically it's a medical business basically. This has converted into medical business basically. And then he told that basically disease equal to medicine, sorry, disease equal to particular area, 1,000 cities, and that disease equal to medicine found, and that medicine equal to also 1,000 cities. That means you want to say that this is basically business of medical industry. Then he told that that basically need to check basically whether this is business or not basically. This is basically business or what actually. That was basically very dangerous question basically. Then the one of the person basically told that basically here also basically we generated one software here basically. Here also basically we generated software. This software also basically 100% might be having with the power company basically because they are spreading. Lots of people basically say that basically do you know basically the malaria basically spreads from mosquito basically. Then one of the person told that basically power company basically one of the person basically told to power company energy company. Then they told that basically no yeah I think you have got some wrong information basically. They told that basically we are spreading the malaria energy basically in the environment basically according to the government order basically. Government only basically tells that spread malaria data here. because this area basically has created lots of problem to us. Literally, basically, this basically converts into the punishment. Basically, that government basically has public has harassed us, so we will harass the public also. That's basically different issue basically. But here the thing is basically the mosquito basically which says that basically the mosquito generates the malaria. That is 100% wrong. The power company basically sends the data, and according to that, it generates the disease, because they know that basically malaria disease is basically going to come from these thousand cities, and they only basically say that basically we have given the malaria medicine also to that from the power company also. And then basically one of the government told that basically doctors basically are telling that our demand basically is getting less basically. Nobody is demanding us basically. One person like this basically, one of the doctor basically told that basically धंधा मंदा चल रहा है यार. Then he told that basically, okay, just a minute, we are just spreading the government basically told to the power company basically, please, yeah, please, do something basically to doctors basically, business basically, yeah. Then they told that basically, okay, we will do this basically. So they spreaded chikungunya, they spreaded malaria disease from the power supply, from the power supply. That means here the basically this all basically is a normal thing basically. This all basically everybody knows basically. This basically thing everybody knows. So here basically the thing is, here the basically thing basically we are discussing it. Earth planet basically is creating each and every characters, each and every paragraph, each and every languages, each and every numbers, and they are basically converting this everything into one planet basically, right? It can be language equal to planet, it can be languages equal to planet, it can be character equal to planets, it can be character equal to planet, it can be basically anything basically. It can be anything basically. It basically can be anything basically. It can be anything basically. Then one example basically we have taken that MBA basically. MBA basically is equal to thousand cities. Thousand cities are equal to this that basically. Then basically they told that basically education is containing 20% error. Then we told that basically certification equal to disease. When basically certification is not launched in the market basically. One person is basically doing hard work of that certification, doing some preparation basically. Then he generated the MBA basically. Then it was that basically MBA equal to disease equal to medicine, medicine equal to that thousand cities. When basically he was doing that syllabus, when basically he was doing the preparation of the MBA degree, basically certification degree, that was basically nobody know that basically MBA like is there also basically. That time basically connected to some certain level of disease. Then basically the people basically try to find out to that disease. Then the few people told that basically we required this basically person is connected to this whole area basically. Why basically he told that basically connected to disease? Because he's connecting with the characters, he's connecting to the words, he's creating the paragraphs basically. But in environment basically the paragraphs are already created basically. Environment basically the character are also created. But he basically is doing what? Character basically is okay, word is also okay basically, but the paragraph basically which is writing it, that basically is not existing in the environment. That basically is not existing in the environment basically. So that converted into the disease basically, because the meaning actually totally changed basically. The meaning basically for example, one person is reading the one paragraph. That time basically read the paragraph and then basically was not able to understand because it was new basically, right? He read it second time, third time, like this basically he keeps on reading. When he basically keeps on reading, the each and every words basically connected to his body, and he basically understood the thing basically also. But that basically connected to some certain level of, slowly basically connected to certain level of disease basically. because the mind basically was having some different understanding basically, which was basically new for him also and new for the public also. But here the public basically has not came into the picture. He basically is doing the each and everything basically. So just see basically the education level basically, how dangerous the education level are basically. Lots of people says that basically we need to solve the education 20% global warming error basically. Then he told that basically this might be also the problem basically. Then he told that basically new degree to launch basically how dangerous it is basically. The chartered accountant degree when it was launched, that time basically lots of disease basically might have spread. Slowly. People have given the name as a malaria, people given the name as a chikungunya. These all are basically connected with certification only basically. These all are basically connected with the education certification only. These all are basically connected with the education certification. Slowly, basically, they have given the name also malaria, chikungunya. Like this, basically, they have literally given the name also. Yeah. For example, malaria came basically from 20 certification. Chikungunya basically came from 35 certification. 35 certification means first standard, second standard, third standard, fourth standard, BCom or BSc or MSc, BCom, MTech, BTech, basically. Like this, basically, are there basically. Basically that we have not created. Then basically one of the junior person basically will tell that basically you have created basically you are Sunil, you have created it. Then basically Sunil told that no, basically I have not created it. That is created by the education industry basically. That is the education is basically one business basically nowadays. It's created from the education industry basically. I have not created it. This basically told to the juniors people basically. Then you told the basically juniors people told they okay. Juniors group basically told that okay. Like this basically, things are basically there basically. Then he basically told that basically each and every certification, for example 35 certification equal to chikungunya, 35 certification equal to chikungunya, 20 certification equal to malaria. Like this basically literally he directly told it basically in front of the medical industry basically, and in front of the World Bank basically, because World Bank has invested the money of this entire education system na, basically. For example, MBA equal to 1000 cities. And when basically assume that it was already created, and 1000 city equal to MBA when it was not created basically. So certification equal to disease equal to medicine, and medicine equal to 1000 cities. That 1000 basically city was created by whom? That was basically created by the World Bank basically. That was basically created by the World Bank basically. So like this basically this is also there basically. In next part basically we are going to see a little bit more about the education global industry basically. What actually the education global warming is connected.